good, guys? Welcome back to another video where today we will be going over the Premier League Game Week 36 games and predicting them. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first game. And the first game is Tottenham versus Brentford. Now this should be a pretty good match, so let's start with Tottenham. They haven't been in the best form recently. Kane is obviously their star player. They lost 2-1 against Aston Villa in their last game. And in the last 5 games, they have 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. And they sit in 7th place. And onto Brentford, they've been in pretty good form recently. Tony has been exceptional, and has also been banned for 8 months due to his betting thing. And they beat West Ham 2-0 last game, and Mbeumo is a great player as well. And in the last 5 games, they have 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. So they sit in 9th place in the Premier League. And my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Brentford. Now let's hop on over to Fulham vs Crystal Palace. This is definitely a game I'm looking forward to. So let's start with Fulham. They've picked up their form recently. Wilson has been great on the right side, and Vinicius and Mitrovic have been very good as well. And in the last 5 games for Fulham, they have 2 wins and 3 losses. They sit in 10th place as well. So on to Crystal Palace. They've been in okay form recently. Eze has been super good. He's been scoring some very good goals. He's been playing well. And Elise as well is a special player for that team. And Zaha is actually looking to leave the club in the summer, I believe. Then in the last 5 games, Crystal Palace have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So they sit in 12th place. And my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Fulham. Now Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Now this is going to be another great game. I'm looking forward to watching this one. So let's start with Liverpool. Liverpool have been in solid form. Trent in his new midfield role has been absolutely incredible. And this team is pushing for top 4. Can they get it? We'll see in the next few weeks. And in the last 5 games, they won all 5, which is very impressive. And they sit in 5th place. And on to Aston Villa. They've been in decent form recently. They did drop off a bit in their form. And Watkins has been popping off recently. Very good player. And this team plays very nice football. And in the last 5 games, they have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. And they sit in 8th place in the league. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Liverpool. Now Wolves versus Everton. A important game for Everton. So let's start with Wolves. They've been in okay form recently. Ruben Neves has been being looked at by some clubs. I believe Barcelona are looking at him. And they play pretty decent football, I would say. In the last 5 games, they have 2 wins, 3 losses. And they sit in 13th place. On to Everton. Now, they've been in not in the best form. They beat Brighton 5-1 a few weeks ago. And they might stay in the Prem. We'll see in the next few games. But they could also go down. And in the last 5 games, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. And they sit in 17th place. So very close to the relegation zone. And my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Everton. Now Bournemouth versus Man United. Very important game for Man United if they want to stay in that top 4 race and stay in that 4th place as well. And let's start with Bournemouth. They've been in not bad form recently. Billing has been their best player, and they're starting to play some decent footy close to the end of the season, and they sit in 14th place in the Premier League. On to Man United. They haven't been in the best form recently. They do need to look for a striker this summer, in my opinion, because at the moment they're playing like Weghorst, who isn't really the best, and Martial, he's okay, but they need like a world-class striker up top, and Garnacho is a very, like, he's so good, what a talent. And in the last 5 games, Manchester United have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses, and they sit in 4th place at the moment. And prediction for this game is going to be a 2-1 win for Man United. Now, Forest versus Arsenal. Now, this should be a decent game, and let's start with Forest. They've been in okay form. Gibbs White has been pretty good for them, and they're fighting to stay up this side. In the last 5 games, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, and they sit in 16th place. On to Arsenal. Their form hasn't been the best. Recently, they actually bottled the league, which is unfortunate, but still a good season for them, and they need to strengthen in the summer. And in the last 5 games, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, and they sit in 2nd place at the moment. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Now, the next game we have is West Ham versus Leeds. Now, this is a huge game for Leeds, as they're trying to stay in the Premier League, because currently, I do believe they're in 18th place. And let's start with West Ham. They haven't been in the best form, but Rice is likely to leave the club this summer, and this team managed to get out of the relegation zone a few weeks ago, which is a positive. And personally, I'm not a fan of how they play, but it is what it is. And in the last 5 games, they have 1 win and 4 losses, and they sit in 15th place. Onto Leeds, they have struggled a lot recently. They could get relegated, and it's really not looking good. They signed Routier, I think his name is, but they don't even play him, like record signing or something, and they don't even play him. And then in the last 5 games, they have 2 draws and 3 losses, and they sit in 19th or 18th place at the moment. And my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Leeds. Now, Brighton versus Southampton. This should be a decent game. So let's start with Brighton. They've been in decent form. They play some really nice football. Like, it's incredible to watch. They beat Arsenal 3-0, which ended Arsenal's title hopes. And in the last 5 games, they have 3 wins and 2 losses, and they sit in 6th place. On to Southampton. They've been in awful form the whole season, and they're officially relegated. And I could see Ward-Prowse leaving the club. And in the last 5 games, they have 1 draw and 4 losses. They sit in 20th place, and my prediction is going to be a 4-0 win for Brighton. Man City versus Chelsea, huge game for City. So let's start with Man City, and they've been in absolute insane form recently, playing incredible football. Haaland's just keeps on scoring and scoring, and super dangerous team. The treble is on for them, and in the last 5 games, they won all 5, and they sit in 1st place. And if they win this game, they win the Premier League title. So on to Chelsea. they haven't been in the best form. They're struggling quite a bit. None of their players are actually performing well. Maybe Madueke, he's doing decent, but in the last 5 games, they have 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses, and they sit in 11th place. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Manchester City. Now, Newcastle versus Leicester, big game for both sides. So let's start with Newcastle. They've been in decent form. Wilson has been great. Isak has been very, very good. What a signing. And they're pushing for UCL football or Champions League football. So in the last 5 games, they have 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. And they sit in 3rd place. Onto Leicester, they haven't been in too good form. They're really struggling, and Maddison could be leaving the team in the summer, and he is a very important part of this team, and they could be getting relegated. And in the last 5 games, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses, and they sit in 19th place. And my prediction is going to be a 4-1 win for Newcastle. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.